You look up at Grodd and tell him the one thing you didn't want to tell him a moment ago. All the wounds are arcane in nature, but worst of all, many of the wounds have been repeatedly healed, only to be struck again. The healing method, I can tell, is divine. As the two of you enter into the hall, with both rage and anger in your eyes, you slam open the one remaining door in this hallway that you have not been into. Bodies line the walls, and a cloaked figure is working on the last body and covering it up. Turning around and dropping his cloak, you see it is a kobold. The three of you begin to go into battle. Grodd lunges forward and slamming his axe with the force of an avalanche on the kobold, nearly killing the kobold in one fell swoop. The kobold shifts to one side and steps back to get a safe distance away. Inciting a quick incantation, fires a magical orb of dazzling colors at Grodd. The orb turns blue at the last possible moment, and Grodd seems to be stunned as a massive gaping wound fills his chest. But he still is standing. You hurl a magical missile, causing the kobold to collapse. You decide to quickly tie him up, but bothering not to heal him. If he survives, you can question him later, and if not, you still have one that you can question. You go back to looking in the room. One body covered makes you hesitant. You go towards it. You hesitate again just before you lift the veil. The once pale skin is now blotted with marks from both arcane damage and where she was swollen. And her goldish silver hair is now matted down with blood. But there is no mistaking it. It is Sylvia Moondust. Grodd recognizes this person too, and begins frantically opening the caskets and uncovering the cloths. Looking towards you, he says, "Where's she? Where's Frostblaze?" Unsure of who he means, you begin to look around at the bodies. A dwarf, still half covered in commoner's clothing and half covered with plate mail, lies in one casket. Another body of an elf, again probably a merchant, who the only day that he saw battle was the day that he died. And a body of a human, again, gotta be another merchant. All of them dead. But you don't see any other orcs. We'll keep looking, Grodd. Don't worry. You two proceed down the hall and take the first door that you hadn't investigated. As you open the door, you find a library, books, some sort of studying room. You see books that are written in Draconic saying the basics of magic. Other books written in Draconic, Tiamat, the greatest of deities. Books on the human anatomy, the elven anatomy, the dwarven anatomy, and other races. And you see a scroll on the table, the top of which you can still make out the game of interrogation, how to play. Your veins turn to ice when you see that, not wanting to touch anything in here at the moment. You proceed to the next room. As you enter into the next room, many things catches your eye. Chessboards all throughout the room are engraved in pieces of wood. Black and white pieces on either side, and red pieces all throughout on both sides of each board. And on each side of the board is names of each of the 5 countries: Arcania, Typheria, Vondel, Dara, and Constros. You're not sure what to make of this at the moment. You see the map, and although all the countries are labeled, and the major cities are, there are no signs of where you are exactly on the map, or if there's anything else that would be giving it away. Lastly, you look at the table, and you realize that these papers are probably written in code. For as you read, each one starts off something along these lines. Arcania versus Typheria. Red Queen now has new red pawn. You're not sure what to make of this. But you know one thing for sure. This is no longer just a matter of a simple raiding party that hides in disputed lands, preying on each of the countries as their merchants travel through prosperous areas. But you are really uncertain of what you should do next.